what the baby told you, so now it is compounded, to prove, compound. It is proven like that. So therefore there are actually, if we think carefully, there are so many logic, there are very good logic, and there are so many good reasons to believe in previous lives. So if there's previous life, then why there is no future life? That's one thing. The other thing is about the continuity of your mind. So if there is no continuity of your mind, then you can't remember, you cannot recollect about your previous lives. So it indicates there is a continuity of your mind. So the mind is continuing all the time. The continuity of the mind is always there. Then after that also there should be continuity of your mind. So that is future life. So when we see our future life, then automatically we can reduce getting engaged into doing negative actions in this life, and we will do better actions for our future lives. We will do that automatically, right? (44) Even someone taken away today to have a limb cut off withers, throat parched, gaze wretched. He sees the world in a completely different way. But that is nothing to the feverish horror which grips me, covered in my own uncontrolled excrement, as death's terrifying messengers stand over me. Excrement, what is excrement? Poo-poo. What is poo-poo?
Waste. Human waste.
Huh?
Human waste.
Human waste.
Human waste.
Human?
Waste.
Waste. Oh, waste. Okay. Okay. It isn't here in this Tibetan. No poo-poo. It doesn't say so. How come? Where are we? Excrement, right? So 45. 44. Okay. What need to mention the tremendous despair when stricken with the disease of great panic, being clasped. What is clasped? Grabbed. Okay. By the physical forms of the frightful messengers of death. Who can afford me real protection from the great horror with terrified bulging eyes? What is it? No, bulging eyes I know. I get. I shall search in every excuse me, direction for refuge. So, you know, the example is given that a person is taking to the place where he is going to be punished by cutting the hand. So, so while he is proceeding to that place, how he would be, he will be very scared and dry up his mouth, and he looks totally different from the previous person by looking, by appearance, and then now you are going to die, and so when you die, if you are going to take rebirth in, you know, in the lower realms, then you get visions of those messengers. So fearful appearing messengers, that they will come and taking you and forcibly taking you, and those fearful messengers also, like, you know, bulging eye and grabbing you, snatching you, and so that kind of visions you can get. I mean, not necessarily everybody gets that, but some who are very, very like, you know, like a butcher, you know, every day killing animals, and every day killing animals for the whole life, that means, you know, enormous. The heavy karma, bad heavy karma, that is enormous. You know. So that kind of person has to go directly to the lower realm, and so he gets very fearful visions while he's dying. So he's talking, but not always. Normally people die peacefully. Particularly, well, it's okay. So normally we don't get all those visions. When you, if there is indication of taking rebirth in the upper realms, then you get even better visions, happier visions, and white light and so forth. So right. So this. But he is trying to scare us, you know, here. So there will be bulging eyes, grabbing you and snatching you and dragging you, and at that time you must be what you gonna do if you don't accumulate merit at this time. That is what he is trying to tell you. From the worst situation, he's trying to tell us from the worst situation. You know. Now, sushi jising dine da never cover situation. Meter sushi chapter sushi chapter on the tenny who do you need to carry away the test that it starts. Sorry? 46, okay. With covering glances, I search the 4 directions for
deliverance.
Deliverance? Huh? Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. What saint will deliver me from this great fear? Seeing the directions devoid of deliverance, I fall into total confusion once again. What will I do then in the state of great fear? A great fear, okay? Okay, so the 46 act. Okay, 46. Upon seeing no refuge anywhere, I shall become enveloped in gloom. If there should be no protection there, then what shall I be able to do? Therefore, I know. That's it. So, are you sure this is? Who can afford real protection from this great horror with terrified bhajana that is done, right? Now, okay. So when you have this fear, when you get this fear, then who can help me? Who can take out of this suffering? And then you stare all over 4 directions, and then you don't find anyone who would help you at that moment. Then you will be so sad. There is no shelter. So at that time, what I should do? That is what he said. Okay. Now, today, you want to watch the returns of the what could say that ring in the Jamsuchi. The two Suchi courage myself, Sandu send that follow to hear about Jamsuchi. Put it right. Right now, I go for refuge to the mighty protectors of the world who have undertaken the care of the world, the conquerors who remove all fear. I also go wholeheartedly for refuge to the Dhamma they have realized, which destroys the danger of cyclic existence, and to the assembly of Bodhisattvas. Therefore, I now seek refuge in the Buddhas who protect the world, who strive to shelter all that lives, and with great strength eradicate all fear. Likewise, I purely seek refuge in the Dhamma, which they have realized clears away from the fears of cyclic existence, and also in the assembly of Bodhisattvas. So, so here he says, therefore, the Lord, who is the Lord of all beings, who is making efforts to give shelter to all sentient beings, and who has the power to dispel all the fears. So, right from now, I would like to take refuge to the Lord and Dhamma, which is he has, which is realized by him, and taking refuge in them to get away from the fear of samsara, and I also take refuge in the assembly of Bodhisattva. Okay? Dāni jīpe nāntāte kundu sāngla dāni būcchāmbe yāngla dāni ki dāni dīni wīwa tūsi chibā mātūwa chēri sīkū tērā yāndā mārī wīndūmi dīne dāla kia tūsu pāpadāmbi īmbu tū sāi īmbu tā tūsi kia tū yīna wīndū khāsi tōma shīnche pānyā dāni shūsi chīmbu tō jīchēla kia tū shīs. Okay. 50. Yeah, trembling with fear, I give myself to Samadabhadra, and again freely I give myself to Manju Kosha. Terrified, I cry out in anguish to the protector Avalokiteshvara, whose conduct overflows with compassion. I have done evil, may he protect me. Seeking deliverance with all my heart, I cry out to noble Agasagarba. Agasagarba. Isn't it? Agasagarba 2 and Kistigarba. Agasagarba, Kistigarba, and all those of great compassion. I bow down to the holder of the Vajra, holder of the Vajra. I bow the holder of the Vajra. As soon as they see him, the ministers of death and all, what is it? Malign creatures flee. Malign creatures means? Evil creatures flee. Then quacking in 4 directions. I have transgressed your command. Oh, okay. That will come later. 49. I, trembling with fear, offer myself to Samadabhadra, to Manju Kosha also. I make a gift of my body to the protector Avalokiteshvara, who infallibly acts with the compassion. I utter a mournful cry, please protect this miscreant. In my search for refuge, I cry from my heart for Akasagrapa, Kistikarpa, and all the compassionate protectors, and I seek refuge in Vajrapani, upon the side of whom all harmful beings, such as the messengers of death, flee in terror in all directions. So, okay, now you understand? So I'm so scared. Now I'm so scared about my future. I'm so scared how my future is going to be. So therefore, I would like to offer myself to you, Samadabhadra. Samadabhadra is, Samadabhadra is Bodhisattva. But Samadabhadra means ever good, perfect. And then I offer myself to Manjushri, and then Avalokiteshvara, who is conquered by compassion, and there's no mistake that Avalokiteshvara is the form of compassion, right? So he doesn't make any mistake to give his service to the sentient beings through his compassion. It is perfect. So that is Avalokiteshvara, the Lord Avalokiteshvara. I cry in front of you, and please help me who have a huge amount of negative actions, and also to what was that? Akasagarbha, Kistigarbha, who are the Lord of compassion, and I look for refuge, and I cry in front of you, And also like to take refuge in Vajrapani, who is the emanation of the Vajrashri is emanation. Avalokiteshvara is emanation of compassion, or compassion of all Buddhas. In other words, the compassion of all the Buddhas appeared in a form that is called Avalokiteshvara. Right? You understand? Yeah. So similarly, the wisdom is all the wisdom of Buddhas. Buddhas, how all the Buddhas means how many Buddhas? Countless Buddhas. You cannot count it. Even the sky is limitless, you know. So the Buddhas are also limitless. So all the wisdom of all the Buddhas, they appear in a form that is Manjushri, right? Similarly, the power to destroy fear, power to destroy sufferings, and so forth. The power destroying the diseases. That is power, you know. The power to destroy all the obstacles. That is power. So all the power of all the Buddhas appear in a form that is Vajrapani. Here he says order of Vajra, that is Vajrapani, right? So you seek help from Vajrapani also, who is very powerful. If those death messengers, if they saw Vajrapani, then all those messengers will be scared, and they will flee in all directions. So I take refuge in Vajrapani as well. Seeking deliverance? No. 54. I have transgressed your command. Now, at seeing the danger, terrified, I go to you for refuge. Destroy the danger quickly. So we just hit a now, previous I transgressed your advice, but now, upon seeing this great fear, I go to you for refuge. By doing so, may this fear be swiftly cleared away. So in other words, till now, in the past, I never listened to you. Right? So I didn't do whatever you asked me to do. I did the opposite. That's true. So we never listen to Buddhas, and we still are not listening. Right? So now I see the big fear. So now I'm going to listen to you because I see this fear. So I take refuge in you. So please take me away from this fear as soon as possible. Okay? So that is that kind of feeling you should have. What he is trying to tell us is that kind of feeling you should have, you know. Till now, I haven't listened to you. I did all the wrong things. I never listened. Now I see the result. What's going to happen to me in the future? I see this because now you see the karmic system, how it works. You see, you know how it works. So therefore, now you are scared. So now there's a big, huge fear in front of you. So you take shelter you take refuge in these protectors, right? So uh, 55, okay. Even one afraid of passing illness would not ignore the doctor's advice. How much more so one in the grip of the 404 diseases. 404 diseases. Tame neki jina ememe rasu nizala su nidei neki tak musikus. He doesn't say here 404 diseases, but there's a count like that, of course. If I need to comply with a doctor's advice when frightened by a common illness, then how much more so when perpetually diseased by the manifold agitations of desire and so forth. So the ordinary fear of diseases. In other words, we should put it this way, that when we are sick, so we have fear of that disease. That time we must listen to. Oh, now I lost my book. I did something wrong with it. Anyway, we are suffering from the ordinary disease. So then we have to listen to the doctor. So we are now suffering from very serious disease, which is the hundreds of falls that we made through our attachment and delusions. So this disease is a very serious disease. So therefore, there's no need to say that we must listen to the advice of Buddhas to be cured from the disease of delusions and attachment and so forth. So that is what he say here. And Kejiki maybe people last in that so mention it, so the food in Miniana, tell him about Tanjiki, Sumutanji, Makata, Mrs. Shindu, two maybe days. No. So, okay. Of which just one can wipe out all the people in. What is it? Jambu Pipa. What is Jambu Pipa? Of which just what?
For which no remedy is found.
No. Of which just one can wipe out all the people in Jambu Pipa? Okay. For which no remedy is found in any region. Yet on this I ignore the advice of the omniscient doctor who removed all barbs. Oh, there is no end to my stupidity. And if all people living on this earth, is it?
Yes.
And if all people living on this earth can be overcome by just one of these, and if no other medicine to cure them is to be found elsewhere in the universe, then the intention not to act in accordance with the advice of the all-knowing physicians that can uproot every misery is extremely bewildered and worthy of scorn. Okay, so now we try to find out. So here it says this translation, whether you got the meaning or not, I don't know. I didn't get it anyway. So he says here that only this one action can destroy all the beings in the world. So this disease, to cure this disease, you cannot find in all the directions, even if you try very hard to find out all this, the medicine. So only the omniscient doctor who can uproot all the sufferings. So if you don't listen to him, if you don't act according to his advice, and then you are really ignorant. You are really ignorant, and this is an object of how do you say? Object of so you understand? It is like this is an object of to be looked down. Okay, to be looked down. This is, you look down. Earlier, high class people look down to lower class people. That word is used here. So if you don't, even if you rely, despite realizing this, if you don't act according to the advice of Buddhas, then you are the object of, you deserve looked down, So anyway, you understand what I'm saying. That's important, right? So this is in this one action can destroy all the sentient beings of the world. That means, the world is not that big. The world is 7 billion people. The universe is infinite. So anyway, the world, all the 7 billion people can be destroyed. That is not literally destroyed, but it can badly affect it, So that is action of getting angry with the Bodhisattvas. So if you get angry with the Bodhisattva, then that is a bad karma, which is enormous, huge. When you get, if you get angry with somebody, that is also a bad action. But compared to this getting angry with the Bodhisattva, this is a tiny little one, you know. So because why it becomes like that? Because the Bodhisattvas, they are totally dedicated. Their body, speech, mind is totally dedicated to for all sentient beings. So there is nothing for them to think about. So to harming or thinking of harming him or her, so that becomes very big, you know, very big, because you get, if you hurt him directly or indirectly, through words or physically, it is like you are hurting all sentient beings. And if you hurt one being, that is small, you know. If you hurt all sentient beings, that is countless. So it becomes very big, unthinkable bad action, you know. So that kind of bad action, how to destroy that action? So the only way to destroy that action is to listen to the advice of Buddhas and practice Dharma. You understand? Right. Now, you some time chula, Payu never shall pass on, you need some vegetables. When 58 I stand with exceeding care, even on an ordinary cliff. Yeah, cliff. How much more so above up? What is it?
Precipice.
What is it?
A sharp.
Okay.
Yeah.
How do you pronounce?
Precipice.
Precipice of 1,000 leagues through great expanses of time. Okay. If I need to be careful, right? Yeah. If I need to be careful near a small, ordinary precipice, how do you say? Precipice. Okay. Then, how much more so near the one of deep duration that drops for 1,000 miles. So you have to be careful, right? You have to be careful. You have to be careful, you know. Even if I think you understand, no need explanation there. So we go further down, okay? Yeah, so time makes you want to buy it. So there is one of these never do what in my family. Give it to tell it to Mr. This is also easy. I hope you will understand if I read it out. Death may not come this very day, but my complacency is ill-founded, right? We are there, right?
Yes.
Inevitably, that time approaches when I shall die. So that is, you understand, I believe. It is inappropriate to enjoy myself, thinking that today alone I shall not die, or inevitably that the time will come when I shall become nothing. When I shall become nothing. Actually it says when I shall become, when I don't exist anymore. Here. So, rest you understand, right? Dar magic sui is in Dili Chitanya, you miss our major Chita Dai, they were dogs. Now, Dai, they were dogs. 60. Who has granted me impunity? How shall I escape? It is certain I shall die. How can my mind be at ease? Okay, that is also. Who can grant me fearlessness? How can I be surely free from this? If I shall inevitably become nothing, how can I relax and enjoy myself? Muốn chơi nhóm thì sĩ bệnh đó là hấp và chiều đó. Đà lý thế là người xin là mê ca tầng kéo ở chế. Oh, now, who has granted? No. What essence has remained mine from things I once enjoyed now perisheth, for which my infatuation led me to ignore the advice of my teachers. What remains with me now from the... We are here?
Yes,
What remains with me now from the terminated experiences of the past, yet through my great attachment to them, I have been going against my spiritual master's advice. So that means, in the past, that is not only in this life. So even in this life, if you look back, you might have enjoyed it. You might have had a lot of enjoyments. You might have had good cars, good houses, good amount of money you used, and good houses and so forth, and you still might have them. But all those past times, past enjoyments are gone. So no more. You cannot enjoy them anymore. I mean, you cannot bring back. You still might be enjoying, but new things you still might be enjoying, but all the past ones you cannot enjoy again. All are gone. So everything is like that. So in the past also, in our past lives also, we enjoyed. We have been born in lower realms also, but higher realms also, higher than human realms, heaven realms. Thousands of years we lived as a king, and not human king. The king of heaven is, you cannot compare king of heaven, king of human beings with the king of heavens, because they have no what do you call it? The three types of sufferings. The suffering, changing of suffering, and the pervasive suffering. There are three kinds. So suffering is almost not there. They never get sick. They get whatever they wish for. Just make the wish and they get. So we enjoyed all those happiness, all those comforts for thousands of years, but all gone, no more there. So there is nothing has left. At this time, what you have, nothing has left. So still we are getting attached towards this kind of worldly enjoyments, and we are acting against the advices of our teachers or Buddhas. So that is clear, right? Since it didn't teach in the shape of Nampale, she was Kashido, Zara Miza Punjiro, Miguel, do it to Telesidaris, the near Bashi Samba Riggs. Oh, okay, thank you. Living beyond this world of the living, along with the relatives and the intimates, wherever I go, I shall go alone. What to me are all those I love or lost, rather at all times, night and day, my sole concern should be this. Suffering is the inevitable result of wrong. How can I escape it? How can I escape it? Right, how can I escape it? And 61, having that departed from having departed from this life and from all my friends and relatives, if all alone I must go elsewhere, what is the use of making friends and enemies? How can I be surely freed from unwholesomeness, the source of misery, continuously, night and day? I should only consider this. Okay, so here, we have to live whatever, even in this life, right now you might be enjoying something, but you have to live anyway, live all of them. Okay, and also friends and enemies, you have to live. The friends also, one day we have to live. Enemies also, we have to, maybe the enemies, they live us also. Yeah. So, okay. So you should know that through the bad actions, only the result will be only suffering for you, for ourselves. So therefore, how to get out of that? You must think of this, how to get out of doing bad actions, and think of this. You must contemplate on this day and night. That's it. Where is it? 263. Okay, 64. 64. Whatever evil I, a deluded fool, have amassed, what is wrong by nature and what is wrong by convention. See, I confess all that as I stand before the protectors, my palms together in reverence, terrified of suffering, prostrating myself again and again. Okay, again and again. Now, wherever has been done by me, is it?
Yeah, you missed out. Yeah, 63.
Yeah, whatever has been done by me through ignorance and unknowing, be it the breaking of a vow or a deed by nature wrong, I humbly what? I humbly confess it all in the presence of the protectors with folded hands, prostrating myself again, my mind terrified by the misery to come in the Gompa, okay? I confess. So out of ignorance, and there are two kinds of, bad karma. One is by nature it is bad karma. That is, for example, the 10 non-virtuous actions. They are by nature. The nature of the action is bad action. So that means whosoever commit that action, they will suffer. As I told you, it is irrespective of different faiths or different colors, So this is by nature, it is a bad action. So like for example, killing action. So if you kill any animals, or if you kill anything which has life, and that is by nature bad action. But then vows, Bodhisattva vows, Patimoksha vows, that only if we break the vow, then you will get it. Then you have committed bad actions. If you haven't taken the vows, then just by doing that, you will be not creating bad actions. So for example, if you are a monk, you have taken a vow, and then what? Then if you get married, or if you have affairs, that is, then you have broken the vow, then you have created bad actions. But for the lay people who has not taken that vow, you can get married, so that is not a bad action. That is not considered committing a bad action. So because by nature it is not, but so there are two.
By nature and by convention.
By nature and by convention. So it mentioned, and the other translator, what he say? He also says sema.
He says be it the breaking of a vow or a deed by nature wrong.
Which chapter? 63.
Yeah.
The breaking of vow or a deed by nature wrong. Okay. So anyway, so that is two kinds of non-virtuous actions. So is that clear? Yeah. So you confess, whatever you have done, you confess in front of the Lord, that is Buddha and so forth. And you prostrate again and again, and then you confess in front of them. The Banam Gidagi no Balabal Sundus, the Samuala Legendani, Homi years. So the Jobal Dipashaba, the Unibao. Okay. Now, let the leaders accept my transgression for what it is. It is not good. O protectors, I must not do it again. So that is the end of the chapter 2. I beseech all the guides of the world to please accept my transgressions and wrongs, since these are not good. In the future I shall do them no more. So that is here what he says. What he said. Guides of the world. Okay. Guides of the world. So literally it is this guide is also okay. So you know what I did wrong, the guides, you are the guide, so you know what I have done wrong. So this is not good, good thing which I did. So in the future I never will do it again. So you make a kind of promise here. So that is at the beginning we discussed about 4 powers, So the relying upon power, that is cultivating motivation and taking refuge in 3 jewels, that was already discussed. You remember that in the chapter. And then feeling of regret, that was also discussed. You noticed that in the chapter. And then you take kind of pledge not to do it again. So here it says, I will never do it again. So that will of course happen. That will happen to you very easily when you realize when you understand and realize how the karmic system works. So feeling of regret, and then antidote power. That is, antidote power is prostrating and offering bath to all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So antidote power, that is any kind of practice of Buddha Dhamma, reciting mantras, meditating on bodhicitta, meditating on emptiness, reciting 100 syllables mantras or any other mantras, and any reading or any sutras, all this, and all these kinds of going to holy places, all these are, the power of antidote. So through that you can get purify yourself, get rid of all the bad actions. Then if you don't, after that, if you don't create more bad actions, then there is no way to suffer. So I think we stop here is better. Time is up, almost up. So we stop here, and you have any questions?